you to learn new concepts in mathematics. I'm Maria Teresa M. Ortega, your Mathematics 9 teacher. So prepare your writing materials and self-learning models.
For today, I'll be discussing direct variation. There are 4 types of variations. The first one is direct variation. The second is inverse variation. The third one is joint variation. And the last one is combined variation. So for now, I'll be discussing with you direct variation. Let's have this example first. The cost C of eggs varies directly as the number of eggs N bought. So if you have noticed, meron tayong dalawang variables dito. We use letter C for cost or yung amount and letter N for the number of eggs, kung ilan yung biniling itlog. Let's have this table first para mas maintindihan nyo. Kung bibili ka ng itlog sa palengke, yung babayaran mo or the amount or cost of the eggs depends on the number of eggs that you've bought. Ibig sabihin, depende kung ilan yung binili mo sa amount na babayaran mo. For example, isang egg lang ang binili mo and the cost of each egg is, for example, 6 pesos. So, ang babayaran mo is 6 pesos. And, for example, you've bought 2 eggs. Yung amount na babayaran mo is 12 pesos. So, dalawang 6. If it's 3 eggs, that will be 18. If it's 4 eggs, that will be 24. So, if you've bought 10 eggs, ang babayaran mo ay 60 pesos. So, this is an example of direct variation. Paano ang direct variation? As the number of eggs that you've bought increases, so habang dumadami yung binibili mong itlog, the cost C or the amount also increases. Tumataas din yung kailangan mong bayaran or the amount that you're going to pay. So if you're going to translate this, the cost C, get this one, so gagawa tayo ng statement. So C is equal to varies directly. So pag na-encounter niyo yung word na varies directly or directly proportional, you write the letter K. So I'll be discussing this one later. The number of eggs, N. So we will use letter N. So we will multiply it with K. So ito yung tinatawag nating statement. So this is the equation of this variation. So that's C is equal to Kn. C stands for cost, N stands for the number of eggs. Yung K dito, ito yung tinatawag nilang constant of proportionality or the variation constant. So paano makukuha yung value ng K? So we have this equation C is equal to Kn. So, I'll divide both sides by n para ma-solve ko si k. So, cancel. N divided by n is equal to 1. So, 1k is equal to c over n. So, para makuha natin yung value, we will just substitute one of the values here. So, we have for cost c, that is 6. And the number of eggs is 1. So, 6 divided by 1 is equal to 6. Even this one, pareho lang siya, 24 divided by 4, that is also equal to 6. So, what do we mean by this? 6 actually stands for the amount of each egg. Ibig sabihin, yung presyo ng itlog, hindi naman siya nagbabago. It's always 6 pesos. That's why they call it the constant of proportionality. Hindi siya nagbabago sa equation. That is the amount that we always multiply with eggs para makuha si C or the cost. Now, para makuha mo naman ang constant of variation, just get the original equation which is C is equal to Kn. And then we have C which is equal to, ang K natin is 6. So we will just replace it with 6. So we have 6n. This is what we call the equation of variation. With this one, E is the independent variable and C is the dependent variable. Now let's discuss the meaning of direct variation. There is a direct variation whenever a situation produces pairs of numbers in which their ratio is constant. So as I said, yung constant na sinasabi ko kanina, that is the value of k. And it produces pairs of numbers in which their ratio is constant, that is c over n. The statements y varies directly as x, y is directly proportional to x, and y is proportional to x may be translated as y is equal to kx, where k is the constant of variations. In here, the variables used are y and x. So sabi niya, y varies directly as x, meaning as the value of x increases, the value of y also increases. So habang tumataas yung value ni x, tumataas din yung value ni y. Similarly, as x decreases, the value of y also decreases. So pare-pareho lang to, varies directly, directly proportional, and proportional. This is an example of direct variation. Let's have this. Write an equation for the following statements. Number 1, the fare f of a passenger varies directly as the distance d of his destination. So for number 1, yung variables na ginamit are f and d. So let's translate it. The fare f, that's f is equal to varies directly. So pag na-encounter nyo na yung word na varies directly, that's the time that you will write k as the distance d of his destination. So we will use d. So yung fare daw ng passenger, depende siya kung saan siya pupunta. Kung mas malayo pupuntahan niya, mas mahal yung pamasahe niya. Kung mas malapit yung pupuntahan niya, of course, mas mura yung pamasahe niya. Let's have number 2, the salary S of an employee. So that's S is equal to, it's directly proportional, so you will write K as the number of days D he has worked. So that's letter D. With the last one, the area of a circle, that's for A, varies directly, so that's K. As the square, take note of this, it's square of the radius R. So you will write R squared. This is the square of the radius R. Let's have the next example. In each of the following, find the equation of variation. Y varies directly as x. So we will write y is equal to, it varies directly as x. So k x. Kapag ganito siya, you have to find first the value of k. So we will divide this by x. X divided by x is equal to 1. So that's 1k. It's equal to y over x. Paano pag ganito siya? So for example, a is equal to kb. We're looking for k. So we will divide this by b. So k is equal to a, mauuna yun sa left side, over b. Let's have number 2. b is equal to kx. You're again solving for k. That's k is equal to b over x. Laging nauuna yun sa left side. So going back to our previous problem, so meron ka ng equation for k. So k is equal to y over x. Ang y natin is 12. So 12 over x, which is 3. So k is equal to 12 over 3, which is equal to 4. This one is what we call the constant of variation. For the equation of variation, use the original equation, which is y is equal to kx. Then, replace nyo lang yung k, substitute nyo lang siya. So, we have y, which is equal to, the value of k is 4. So, papalitan nyo lang siya ng 4. 4x. This is the equation of variation. Let's have number 2. X varies directly as c, so x is equal to kc. So, k is equal to x over c. Ang x natin is 15. So, 15 over 9, divide natin siya by 3. So, 3 over 3. 15 over 3 is, 15 divided by 3 is equal to 5. 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. So, ang constant of variation natin is 5 over 3. So, the equation of variation is x is equal to kc, which is x is equal to 5 over 3 times c. So, this is the equation of variation. Let's solve these problems now. Let's have number 1. Y varies directly as x. If y is equal to 10 when x is equal to 3, find y when x is equal to 9. So, kapag ganito siya, there are two solutions for this. Let's have the first solution. So, y varies directly as x. Translate nyo lang to. So, y is equal to kx. Again, k is equal to y over x. Let's solve first for the value of k. Hanap niyo yung first pair. So, with this problem, sabi niya y is equal to 10 when x is equal to 3. So, y is 10 when x is 3. So, the value of k is 10 over 3. Tapos, ilagay niyo lang siya dito sa first equation. So, y is equal to kx. So, we have y is equal to 10 over 3x. Let's solve the problem now. Sabi niya, find y when x is equal to 9. So, y when x is 9. So, papalitan mo yung x, gagawin mo siyang 9. So, 10 over 3 times 9. There are two methods here. Pwede nyo gawing 10 times 9 tapos divided by 3. 10 times 9 is 90, divided by 3 is 30. Or pwede rin, divide nyo na muna, 9 divided by 3 is equal to 3. 3 times 10 is 30. So, the value of y is 30. Let's have the alternate solution now. Pwede rin gumamit kayo ng proportion. So, ang variables na ginamit dito are x and y. So, we can have x sub 1 over y sub 1 is equal to x sub 2 over y sub 2. Ang x sub 1 natin, yung unang binigay na x. So, x is equal to 3. Yung y sub 1 naman, yung partner niya, which is 10. X sub 2, yung pangalawang x, which is 9. Y sub 2, since nawawala siya or unknown, we will copy y. Then, yung multiply, yung unang, we will cross-multiply, mauuna yung may variable. So, that's 3 times y. So, 3y is equal to 9 times 10 is 90. Then, divide lang natin siya by 3. 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. So, we have 1y is equal to 90 divided by 3 is 30. Same answer siya. Y is equal to 30. Let's have number 2. Joriel's income varies directly as the number of days he works. If he earns 6,000 pesos in 20 days, how much will he earn in 30 days? So, kapag ganito siya, tayo yung magbibigay ng variable. Tayo yung mag-a-assign kung ano yung letter na gagamitin. So, let's use I for income. Joriel's income varies directly as the number of days. So, that's K. Number of days is D. Varies directly as the number of days he works. Pwede kayong gumamit ng ibang letter na gusto nyo. So, K is equal to I over D. Same also, you can also use small letter with this one. I, first na binigay niya, ang income niya is 6,000. Number of days is 20 days. So, 6,000 divided by 20, cancel natin yung 0. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and then the remaining is 2 zeros, so 300. Meaning, yung per day niya, 300 pesos. So, let's find now how much will he earn in 30 days. So, ang tinatanong niya, income. So, income is equal to KD, yung first equation natin, original equation. Ang income niya, so per day niya is 300 pesos in 30 days. So, we have 300 times 30 is 9,000 pesos. So, you will write Joriel will earn 9,000 pesos in 30 days. Let's have an alternate solution. So, we have I, pwede din to, I sub 1, number of days is D sub 1. First income is 6,000. Days is 20. Second income is unknown, so I sub 2 or I. D sub 2, number of days is 30. Lowest term nyo na muna to, or divide. 6,000 divided by 20, that will be 300 over 1, or 300. Pero kailangan ko ng fraction, so I made it over 1. It's equal to I over 30. Mauuna yung I, so we have 1I is equal to 300 times 30 is 9,000. Let's have the last problem. If P varies directly as the square of Q and P is equal to 20 when Q is equal to 5, find P when Q is equal to 15. So let's solve it. P varies directly. So P is equal to varies directly as the square of Q. So Q squared. So K is equal to P over Q squared. P is 20 when Q is 5. So P is 20. That's the value of K over Q, which is 5. So we have 5 squared. So divide, square muna natin yung 5. So this is 20 over 5 times 5 is 25. Lowest term natin siya. This is 4 over 5. Divide natin siya by 5. 20 by 5 is 4. 25 by 5 is 5. So the value of K is 4 over 5. So let's solve now. Find P. So we have P is equal to KQ squared. Ang K natin is 4 over 5. Sabi niya Q is 15. So Q is 15. So we have to square it. Square muna natin siya. 4 over 5. 15 times 15 is 225. Divide na muna natin yung 225 by 5. 225 by 5 is equal to 45. Then multiply natin siya by 4. So 4 times 45. 4 times 45 is 180. So that's the value of P. Let's have an alternate solution. So we have P sub 1. It varies directly as Q, as the square of Q. So Q sub 1, pero square natin siya. It's equal to P sub 2, Q sub 2, then square. So P sub 1 is 20. Q sub 1 is 5. So we have 5 squared. P sub 2 is unknown. So we will write P. And Q sub 2 is 15. So 15 squared. Square muna natin. So we have 20 over 5 times 5 is 25. It's equal to P. 15 times 15 is 200. 25. Lowest term muna natin siya. 20 over 25 is 4 over 5. It's equal to P over 225. Multiply muna natin yung may P. So we have 5P. It's equal to 4 times 225. Much better if you will just write it like this para mag-divide muna para makapag-divide muna tayo before we multiply. So divide everything by 5. Cancel. So P is equal to 225 divided by 5 is 45. 45 times 4 is 180. So you will get same answer.
That's the end of my lesson. Please feel free to comment kung meron kayong parts na hindi naintindihan so I can discuss it again. Bye!